You're such an asshole.
Hey, Cappy, you do a Clarey double test on Navy veterans James Stockdale and John Paul Jones. I think that is fitting since I recently swore into the Navy. Well, congratulations to you, my fine young sir, sailor. Let's look this guy up. John Paul Jones. John Paul Jones. John Paul Jones. Is that the guy? John Paul Jones. John Paul Jones. Let's go. Naval commander. Looks a little bit old. Oh, this is the guy that said I have not yet begun to fight. All right. Well, where's the link here, guys? The degree is going to be a little bit hard on this one. Well, he died relatively young. John Paul Jones was the United States' first well-known naval commander in the American Revolutionary War. He made many friends and enemies who accused him of piracy among America's political elites. And his actions in British waters during the Revolution earned him an international reputation which persists to this day. As such, he is sometimes referred to as the father of the American Navy. Jones grew up in Scotland, became a sailor, and served as commander of several British merchant ships. After having killed one of his crew members with a sword, he fled to the colony of Virginia. Okay, he's an American. And around 1775, joined the newly founded Continental Navy in their fight against Britain in the American Revolutionary War. He commanded U.S. Navy ships stationed in France and led one single assault on England, which resulted in failure, and a few on British merchant ships. Left without a command in 1787, he joined the Imperial Russian Navy and obtained the rank of Rear Admiral. Really? Really? Served until 1778. Later life and death. Okay, well, he's got quite a reputation here. Early life. He added Jones later to hide from law enforcement. Was born on the estate of Abergland near Kirkbean in Jesus! Listen to this. The fucking Isles. Was born in the estate of Abergland near Kirkbean in the Stewartry of Kirkcudbright of the southwest coast of Scotland. How many subdivisions? Hey, I live in the WBL of Minnesota. Boom! His father, John Paul Sr., was a gardener at Abergland, and his mother was Jean McDuff. His parents married. Started his maritime career at 13. All right, so he has real-world experience, doesn't come from wealth. Sailed aboard a number of merchant and slave ships, third mate, 2 friends, blah, 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 Jamaica. John Paul's career was quickly and unexpectedly advanced during his next voyage aboard the brig John, which sailed port 1768 when both the captain and the ranking mate suddenly died of yellow fever. Paul managed to navigate the ship back to a safe port, and in reward for this feat, the vessel's grateful Scottish owners made him master of the ship and its crew, giving him 10% of the cargo. Wow! He led 2 voyages to the West Indies before running into difficulty. During the second voyage, 1770, John Paul had one of his crew flogged, leading to accusations that his discipline was unnecessarily cruel. These claims initially were dismissed, but his favorable reputation was destroyed when the sailor died a few weeks later. John Paul was arrested for his involvement in the man's death and was imprisoned in Kirkcudbright Tolbooth, but later released on bail. The negative effect of this episode on his reputation is indisputable. Although the man's death had been linked to yellow fever, the man who died of his injuries was not a usual sailor, but an adventurer from a very influential Scottish family. Ba-da-ba, commanding naval career, Revolutionary War. Despite his successes at sea, Jones' disagreements with those in authority reached a new level upon arrival in Boston in December 1776. While at the port, he began feuding with Commodore Hopkins, as Jones believed that Hopkins was hindering his advancements by taking down his campaign plans. As a result of this and other frustrations, Jones was assigned the smaller command of the newly constructed USS Ranger on June 14, 1777, the same day that the new Stars and Stripes flag was adopted. After making necessary preparations, and went off to France. Ba-da-ba. I took the Ranger out to Britain, attacked Britain, turned to Ireland. I'm just getting to the point when he... Russian service. All right. In June 1782, Jones was appointed to command of the 74-gun USS America, but his command fell through when Congress decided to give America to the French as a replacement for the wrecked Le Magnifique. As a result, he was given assignment in Europe in 1783 to collect prize money due his former hands. At length, this too expired, and Jones was left without prospects for active employment, leading him on April 23rd, 1787, to enter into the service of the Empress Catherine II of Russia, who placed great confidence in Jones, saying he'll get to Constantinople. He was granted name... I'm reading it as it's written, guy. He was granted name. These phrases of the Navy are foreign to me. He was granted name as a French subject, Paul de Jones. Jones avowed his intention, however, to preserve the condition of an American citizen and officer. As a rear admiral aboard the 24-gun flagship Vladimir, he took part of a naval campaign in the Dnieper Bug-Liman against the Turks in concert with the Dnieper flotilla commanded by Prince Charles of Nassau-Siegen. In 1789, Jones was arrested and accused of raping a 12-year-old girl named Katerina Gottswalt, but the court a French representative, conducted his own personal investigation and manner was able to convince Potemkin that the girl had not been raped and that Jones had been accused by Prince de Gassin for his own purposes. Jones, however, admitted to prosecutors that he had often frolicked with the girl for a small cash payment. And it goes down the toilet. Arrived in Warsaw, befriended this, da-da-da. May Sakato, my 12? 12? Oh, boy. Bullet in my head. May of 1790, Jones arrived in Paris. He still possessed as position a Russian rear admiral with corresponding pension, which allowed him to remain in retirement until his death 2 years later, although he made a number of attempts to re-enter the service in the Russian Navy. By this time, his memoirs had been published in Edinburgh. Inspired by them, James Fenimore Cooper and Alexander Dumas later wrote their own adventure novels. He was appointed consul. The cause of death was interstitial nephritis. A small procession of servants and 4 miles burial buried in London or Paris. He was exhumed, pardoned. Okay. Oh God, there's a picture of his body after he's exhumed. Oh, gross. He's a pedophile. Jesus. I flirted with her for small tokens of money. Oh. Alright, well, let's go back. He didn't come from wealth. He didn't major in stupid crap. He went immediately into work, and he basically tried to work till he was dead. Unfortunately, we see the limitations of the Clarey test here because he's diddling a kid. Let's just go with that. I'm just going to assume the circumstantial evidence is a little bit compelling. I'm all for guys ramming heads with authority, but when you're... This indicates to me you also don't obey orders. Flogging someone until he's almost dead and maybe causing his death. This is not a maverick renegade trying to stop the housing crisis from happening, like that dashing, charming, heroic individual from 2008 who wrote that book Behind the Housing Crisis. What was the name of that dashingly handsome, brilliant economist? I forget his name. That's not this. This is, I'd say, something mentally off, which probably did serve as like Patton, you could even argue, was a little bit maybe mentally off, but he was unconventional. That served to help him win battles. Same thing here, but this guy is... All right, so would I want to have a beer with him? My frontal cortex says yes, but my gut says no. I don't... Frontal cortex, yeah, because he's an interesting guy, led an interesting life, but my gut, I'm like, no, I don't really want to have a beer with you. I know that's weird because of all this stuff. I really wouldn't want to have a beer with him. Should he have run for office? No, I don't think he should. That diddling the kid thing, even though he has a perfect score, the diddling of the kid kind of mars that. So there's that. All right, let's go to the next guy. James Stockdale. Let's look up James Stockdale. John Stockdale. Oh, James Stockdale. Oh. Okay, so he's World War II, it looks like. Medal of Honor. His picture is in color. It's not black and white, so it's a relative. And he died 2005. All right, James Stockdale, born 1923, was a United States Navy Vice Admiral and aviator, awarded the Medal of Honor in the Vietnam War, during which he was a prisoner of war for over 7 years. Oh. Commander Stockdale was the senior naval officer held captive in Hanoi, North Vietnam. He had led aerial attacks from the carrier USS Ticonderoga during the 1964 Gulf of Tonkin incident. On his next deployment, while commander of carrier Air Wing 16 aboard the USS carrier Oriskany, his A-4 Skyhawk jet was shot down in North Vietnam on September 9th, 1965. Oh, it was just starting. He served as president of the Naval War College from October 1977 until he retired from the Navy in 1979. As Vice Admiral, Stockdale became president of the Citadel, the Military College of South Carolina. Stockdale held this position from 1979 to 1980. Candidate for Vice President of the United States in the 1992 presidential election on Ross Perot's independent ticket. Oh, okay. They kind of skipped over him being in the Hanoi Hilton. Born in Illinois, son of Mabel and Vernon. Following a brief period at Monmouth College, he entered the United States Naval Academy. Graduate Bachelor of Science degree. Okay, so he majored in good stuff. It doesn't say whether he came from wealth or not. Graduated in 1947 due to the reduced schedule still in effect from World War II. Academically, he ranked 130th out of 821 graduates in his class. Gunnery officer in 1946. So he was an older guy. Yeah, so he would have been senior officer by the time he got shot down. Yeah, so he had gosh, almost 20 years experience in the Navy. Flight training, test pilot, Marine Corps. A Master of Arts in International Relations, the comparative Marxist thought. Why did he do that? He has a Bachelor of Science degree and is a pilot, and he goes into a Master of Arts in International Relations? And the Navy sent him there, so you can't really say, hey, what did you do? He's like, they sent me here to study this. All right, so he's got a ton of real-world experience. Prisoner of War, 1965. When did he get released? So 65 got released in plus 7, 72. I'm just saying when he got tortured routinely and denied medical attention for a severely damaged leg he suffered during capture. Stockdale created and enforced a code of conduct for all prisoners which governed torture, secret communications, and behavior. This guy, they should make a movie about him. Movie really should be made about him. Kind of a Great Escape, but a little bit more depressing. Not a, oh, chip, hello, here's some moonshine. Oh, it's good stuff, Hill. It's good stuff. Whoa! Only a few people got that joke. Wow. Whoa. Whoa. It's good stuff, Hills. So you're gonna be out by Christmas. Da 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 da. Was released 1973 during Operation Homecoming. Medal of Honor. Took no action. After his retirement in 1979, became president of the Citadel. All right, so he still worked. And then he worked on the Reagan administration. He became vice president. The guy gets a perfect score. I'm sure he didn't have rich parents. He didn't major in stupid stuff intentionally until the military forced him to. He was, how? 43, 73. God, I had a 39-year career in the military. Holy cow. 4 Silver Stars, 3 Navy Distinguished Service Medals, Medal of Honor, Legion of Merit, Distinguished Flying Cross, Bronze, 2, but some of these are more, 2 Purple Hearts. Yeah, this is a man. This is a man's man. Perfect score on the Clarey test. Would I like to have a drink with him? Absolutely. And I would shut the fuck up and listen to every word this man said. Should he run for office? Yes, he should. I'm glad he did. He should have ran for president. That was But you see how stupid the American people were. Why would we want this guy? Oh, we're going to pick Bill Clinton or Robert Dole, World War II hero. So yeah, perfect score, James Stockdale. Yeah, and he didn't diddle no kids, okay? There, I'll take James over John. Okay, that's it. ASOConsulting.com. Links down below. Podcast things, stuff, Patreon, money, give, shop Amazon. All that's down below. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.